After years of talking about employee mental health, our guest expert today says it's time to evolve to focusing on brain health. Our guest today, Dr. Sara Whedon, is a chiropractor and advocate for brain health and work-life balance in corporate America. Dr. Sara is a sought-after expert with more than 50,000 patient interactions. She is the creator of a full immersion program to live a healthy life while working in today's challenging corporate environment. She supports corporations by addressing stress management and culture by supplementing wellness programs with brain-based wellness offerings. Dr. Sara helps corporations step into new and dynamic ways of fostering workplace wellness. Dr. Sara, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you have been a wellness professional for more than 12 years, working with corporate leaders and employees at all levels of the organization. Your view is that brain health is the most useful and, you say, underutilized wellness strategy an organization can implement today. Why do you think that is?
I get asked this question a lot, and it's fundamentally what we do and why we do what we do. So I grew up in the Motor City, so I always like to use the example of a car when I describe why I think this is so important. So when you look at the outside of a car, you know, the paint, how it interacts with the road, whether the wheels have air in the tires, all of that is how you get from point A to point B. The inside, it's all how you feel and how you interact with it. Outside of the car, interface with the world, that's brain health. Inside, how you feel, how the leather is, how you're enjoying the music is how you feel about it. That's mental health. What they're not doing is pulling it all together to give you the experience. So the statistics are staggering. $575 billion are lost yearly due to underperformance. People showing up to work with chronic health conditions or brain-based conditions and not actually able to do the job.
Wow. So that's a very good reason right there for organizations to make the switch from purely focusing on mental health to also focusing on brain health. What are some of those other compelling reasons why organizations really need to make this switch?
Well, historically, we've thought that the brain doesn't change, and the brain actually does change throughout life. And research shows that we can make big impacts and make exponential improvements. The other one is that higher performance actually means harder work for people. And I actually believe that efficient employees, brain-based employees who are eager to learn actually create the biggest performance.
What should companies do? What are some of the tangible things they should be thinking about in terms of starting to support brain health? And then what needs to be added to their existing programs that they already have underway?
Well, Angelique, you would never take a convertible off-roading, right? Form has to equal function. So if your organization is actually asking for high-performing people, you need to make sure that you're bridging the gap between where they currently are to actually make sure that they're getting there. As far as what to remove, I would say the mindset that change has to be hard and that employees don't want change. I actually really do believe, and I see it all the time, that employees want change and they're looking for the leadership for them to step into it.
Well, I think right now, too, through the Great Resignation, we're really seeing if organizations won't change, then the employees are just going to leave. They're not going to stay, right?
They're taking rusty parts to different organizations. And I just really think that we can do a better job.
That's a pretty profound way to look at that. So what do you recommend for leaders inside of organizations, whether it's the business owners, whether it's the C-suite, whether it's chief people officers, where sometimes this issue gets relegated, or the heads of employee wellness? What do they need to do today? What are some specifics to get started on focusing on brain health?
Well, I think foundationally, you have to be the organization that decides that your employees who are happy and joyful actually will show up, and everything else will roll downhill. So for me, we do a brain checkup. So we go into organizations and we help figure out where that gap is and help them figure out how to help bridge that gap. So that way, again, you're not walking alongside your competitors trying to compete with them. You are now setting yourself completely apart.
And I would say right now that's probably one of the most compelling reasons, really, to create some urgency around this. But time, resources, they're always limited. Organizations obviously have to make tough decisions about why they invest. What would be that final push that you would give leaders today as to why this has to be at the top of their list when they're looking at their spending and investments in their people over the next 1 to 3 years?
Well, people are quietly quitting. They are physically present, but they are mentally checked out. And I'm telling you, everything rolls downhill when you have healthy, well-engaged people who have a great work-life balance. And you don't avoid your oil change, so why on earth would you avoid taking care of yourself? The collective performance of the company is what we're going for. Individual performance doesn't move the needle. Collective performance and enhancement of the whole company opens the door for more creativity and more prosperity for everybody to win.
This has been a really fascinating conversation. We're not hearing as much about brain health in corporate as we should be. If folks were interested in having you come in and talk to their organization or their audience about brain health, how could they get in touch with you to do that?
So on my website, you can reach us so that way we can do a brain check-in. Make sure that your organization is in the right place for it, and also maybe offer some smaller tips to help prepare you. You know, when you sign up to do more initiatives, we don't need more initiatives. So small baby steps help get us more committed and get buy-in from your organization.
Absolutely amazing, Dr. Sara. Thank you so much for being here and for bringing this topic really to the top of the pile today for corporate leaders. To learn more about how to enhance your corporate wellness strategies and bring brain-based wellness into your organization, visit drsaraweeden.com. Thanks, Sara.
Thank you so much.